The Harris family legacy is not just crumbling, it is being incinerated in front of our very eyes. We have seen rap beefs, we have seen diss tracks, and we have seen social media trolling, but what just happened to King Harris is on a level of trauma that hip-hop has never witnessed. A video has surfaced, hidden behind private links and encrypted messages, showing the exact moment King Harris watched the unedited, raw footage from 50 Cent's upcoming documentary. And guys, this isn't the defiant, tough-talking King we know. This is a 21-year-old son completely breaking down, sobbing uncontrollably, and hyperventilating as he witnesses his father, T.I., in a light that no son should ever see. The secrets contained in that footage are so dark, so chilling, and so undeniable that King didn't just cry. He walked away from his own bloodline. Tonight, we have the exclusive breakdown of the footage that 50 Cent used to destroy T.I.'s relationship with his son forever. You are about to see the betrayal that has left the King of the South's throne empty and his family in total ruin. Stay tuned, because the twist at the end of this footage is something that will change how you look at T.I. forever. To understand the sheer magnitude of this explosion, we have to look at the pressure cooker that has been the Harris household for the last 3 years. T.I. and Tiny have been fighting a war on two fronts, one in the courtroom against over 30 accusers, and one on the streets of social media against the most ruthless businessman in hip-hop history, the mogul himself, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. This isn't just a clash of titans, it is a clash of ideologies that was bound to end in blood and betrayal. For years, T.I. has meticulously maintained a facade, the family man, the philosopher, and the protector of his community. He has stood by Tiny through every storm, and he has raised his sons, especially King Harris, to be the frontline soldiers for the family name. We've all seen it. King Harris jumping into his father's beef with 50 Cent like a loyal lieutenant, a young man ready to burn bridges for the man he called his hero. King was the one dropping the most aggressive diss tracks, the one wearing the provocative t-shirts mocking 50's deceased mother, and the one shouting from the rooftops that his father was an innocent man being bullied by a social media troll. King believed in the legend of T.I. He believed his father was a saint being persecuted. But 50 Cent doesn't just troll, he prays. While T.I. was playing checkers, 50 Cent was playing a global game of chess, sitting on a mountain of archival footage, private recordings, and witness testimonies that he has been slowly stitching together for his most lethal project yet, the documentary tentatively titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny. After 50 saw how his Diddy documentary, The Reckoning, effectively dismantled an empire, he realized he didn't need to rap back at T.I. He didn't need to respond to a 21-year-old's insults. He just needed to wait for the perfect moment to show that young man the truth about the man he was defending. The history between T.I. and 50 Cent is a blood-soaked map of New York versus Atlanta. It started with competitive jealousy over who had the better catalog and escalated into a personal vendetta when 50 Cent brought Tiny's name into the mud. T.I. responded with war, lessons, and what bully, trying to frame 50 as a coward who wouldn't get in the booth. But while T.I. was in the studio polishing his verses, 50 Cent was in the editing room polishing the receipts. Industry insiders tell us that T.I. has been living in absolute terror of this documentary for months. He has allegedly spent millions of dollars in legal fees, sending cease and desist orders to every production house in Hollywood, trying to block the release of certain tapes. Why such a desperate move? Because these tapes don't just contain rumors. They contain T.I.'s own voice, his own shadow, and his own admissions in moments where he thought the world wasn't watching. The relationship between a father and son is built on an unspoken contract of trust. T.I. taught King that the world was out to get them, that the allegations were nothing more than a shakedown, and that they had to stay trauma-bonded to survive. King bought into every word. He became the loudest shield for the Harris legacy. But 50 Cent knew that the loudest shields are the ones that shatter into the sharpest pieces when they finally break. What 50 Cent did next was a move of pure, calculated psychological warfare. He didn't leak the footage to the public first. He didn't send it to the blogs or the news networks. He sent it directly to King Harris's private portal. He wanted the son to see the father's sins in total isolation, away from the PR team and the lawyers. He wanted to watch the Harris family implode from the inside, starting with the one person who loved T.I. the most. As we are about to see, his plan worked with terrifying precision. The inevitable explosion has happened, and the first casualty is King Harris's soul. The scene of this absolute emotional carnage was a high-end recording studio in the heart of Atlanta. King Harris was reportedly in the middle of a late-night session, working on what was supposed to be his most aggressive diss track yet, a final blow to 50 Cent's reputation. Witnesses say the energy in the room was electric, filled with the usual bravado and the feeling of invincibility that comes with the Harris name. But that energy vanished in a heartbeat when a notification pinged on King's laptop. It was an encrypted file sent from an untraceable source with a subject line that simply read, "The truth your father hid." King, fueled by the arrogance of loyalty, laughed it off. He thought it was just more fodder for his track, more fake news to dismantle. He clicked the file. The room went dead silent as the footage began to play. This wasn't a polished, edited documentary clip. This was raw, high-definition security-style footage from a private VIP lounge in a Las Vegas hotel, dated November 2014, a night T.I. had gone on record, even in his own books, as being at home with his family, playing the role of the devoted father. In the video, T.I. is seen in a state we have never witnessed in public, aggressive, cold, and utterly unhinged. He is seen commanding a group of associates to clear the floor and make sure no one has a device. But then, the horror escalated. The footage captures T.I. in a candid conversation with an unidentified individual, laughing as he discusses the system they had in place for the women they brought around, a system of coercion that mirrors every single dark allegation T.I. has fought in court. But here is the first massive twist that didn't just break King Harris, it destroyed him. As King leaned closer to the screen, his heart pounding against his ribs, he saw his father look directly toward a hidden camera that he clearly didn't know existed. T.I. leans back, lights a cigar, and says with a chilling smirk, "My kids will never know the real me. I'll make sure they think I'm a saint, even if I have to buy their loyalty with every hit record I make. As long as they stay loud, the world stays quiet." King Harris froze. The air left the room. The man he had been risking his life for, the man whose honor he had defended against the entire internet, had just admitted, on tape, that King was nothing more than a tactical investment. King pushed the laptop away with such force it nearly shattered against the console. He didn't just cry. He let out a guttural, primal scream of pure betrayal that reportedly brought the entire studio staff to a standstill. In a moment of raw, unshielded trauma, King took to a private Instagram Live, accessible only to his close friends' circle, and the footage is nothing short of a tragedy. You can see King sitting on the floor of the booth, his designer clothes rumpled, his eyes red and swollen, gasping for air as he suffered a visible panic attack. He kept repeating the same words over and over, his voice cracking. "He lied to me. He made me look like a fool. I wore a shirt with a dead woman on it for him. I went at 50 for him. And he was just laughing at me the whole time." The emotional intensity was so thick it was suffocating. King began a path of destruction through the studio, tearing down platinum plaques, smashing awards, and ripping his own grand hustle chains off his neck. He felt like a pawn in a game he didn't even know he was playing. The realization that 50 Cent wasn't the villain, but that his own father was the one who had groomed his loyalty, shattered his reality. Leaked messages from that chaotic hour show King frantically texting his mother, Tiny. One message, which has since been screen-grabbed by insiders, read, "Mom, tell me this is a deep fake. Tell me 50 is using AI. If this is real, I'm never coming home. I can't look at him again." Tiny's response was allegedly a series of typing bubbles that went on for 10 minutes, but never resulted in a single word. Her silence was the final, crushing confirmation. But just when you think the trauma had peaked, the footage King saw had a second half. A part that 50 Cent had specifically timed to reveal a secret about King's own life. As King scrolled further into the file, he found a recording of a phone call from 2018. In that call, T.I. is heard arranging for a legal fixer to bury a certain incident involving King. But T.I.'s motive wasn't fatherly love. He is heard saying, "I don't care about the kid, I care about the headlines. If he looks bad, I look bad. Fix it so I keep the Father of the Year image." King realized his entire existence had been a PR campaign. He wasn't a son. He was a prop used to maintain a brand. The breakdown turned into a total psychological collapse. Medics were reportedly called to the scene as King's breathing became dangerously shallow, but he refused to let anyone touch him. He grabbed his keys, stumbled out of the studio, and sped off into the Atlanta night, leaving his phone and his former life behind. The Harris legacy was officially in ashes, and the world was about to find out that the king's son had finally seen the truth. By the next morning, the private live wasn't private anymore. In the digital age, nothing stays hidden, especially when it involves the destruction of a dynasty. Screenshots of King's red, tear-stained face, and clips of his guttural screams were plastered across every blog from Hollywood Unlocked to World Star. The hashtag King Harris Breaks Down began trending globally, clocking in over 2 million tweets in just 4 hours. But while the public was busy speculating, 50 Cent was preparing to drop the second nuclear bomb, a reveal that would shift the narrative from family drama to a criminal conspiracy. 50 Cent, staying true to his ruthless brand, didn't post a long explanation. He simply uploaded a throwback photo of a young, innocent King Harris sitting on T.I.'s lap with a caption that read, "It's hard when you find out the king of the South is actually the king of the lies. Don't hate the messenger, kid. Hate the man who used you as a human shield while he was out there playing God." Then came the shocker. A Twitter thread from an anonymous account, widely believed to be linked to 50's G-Unit investigative team, leaked a table of contents for the documentary's third episode. It was titled, "The King Harris Clause: Orchestrated Distractions." The reveal was absolutely sickening. The documentary allegedly provides evidence that T.I. didn't just lie to his son. He used him as a strategic tool to distract the media. According to leaked internal memos from T.I.'s former PR firm, every time a new sexual assault allegation or a heavy legal filing was about to hit the press, a family incident was staged. Whenever the legal heat got too high, T.I. would allegedly provoke King into a public argument or encourage his wild behavior to ensure the headlines shifted from rape allegations to T.I.'s struggle with his rebellious son. The realization hit the internet like a freight train. King Harris wasn't just a troubled kid. He was a decoy. Every time we saw them arguing on a reality show or a red carpet, it was potentially a calculated move to protect T.I. from federal scrutiny. The industry went into a tailspin. We started seeing reactions from the heavyweights. Boozy Badass went on a frantic IG live, saying, "Man, if this is true, the game is colder than I thought. You don't use your own blood to hide your skeletons. That's a different kind of evil." But the escalation didn't stop at Twitter commentary. The streets of Atlanta were buzzing with reports that T.I.'s inner circle was beginning to fracture. Sources claim that after King's breakdown, at least 3 longtime associates of Grand Hustle reached out to 50 Cent's camp, offering to testify in the documentary in exchange for protection. They saw the writing on the wall. If T.I. would sacrifice his own son, no one was safe. Then, the most chilling, shocking reveal of the night surfaced. A 10-second audio clip was leaked onto TikTok, allegedly from a wiretap during T.I.'s 2021 legal battles. In the clip, a voice sounding exactly like T.I. is heard saying, "King is the perfect cover. Nobody's gonna look at a predator when they're too busy looking at a bad father. Let him act out. It keeps the feds off the scent." The public reaction shifted instantly from mockery to a wave of profound pity for King. He was no longer the privileged brat the internet loved to hate. He was a victim of elite-level psychological grooming. A prominent celebrity psychiatrist went viral with a video titled, "The Grooming of an Heir," breaking down how T.I. allegedly manipulated King's loyalty to serve as a smokescreen for his own alleged crimes. Amidst this chaos, King Harris remained missing. His car was found abandoned near a private airstrip outside Atlanta, but his GPS had been disabled. Rumors began to swirl that he hadn't just run away. He had been picked up by a security detail belonging to an unnamed rival. Everyone knew what that meant. King was likely in a safe house, and for the first time in his life, he was talking to people who weren't on his father's payroll. The final cliffhanger of this section dropped when Tiny Harris finally broke her silence. She didn't post a defense of her husband. She didn't post a prayer emoji. She posted a photo of a packed suitcase with the caption, "A mother's first loyalty is to her children. The truth is out, and there's no going back." The Harris household wasn't just divided, it was evacuated. T.I. was left alone in a multi-million-dollar mansion that had become a prison of his own making. But as the sun began to rise, a new report hit the wires. King Harris had been spotted entering a building in downtown Atlanta, the building that houses the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The question now wasn't whether T.I.'s career was over, but whether his son was about to be the one to hand him a life sentence. The digital world has officially transformed into a courtroom, and the verdict is brutal. Across every social media platform, the hashtag #JusticeForKing is obliterating the charts, replacing the mockery that used to follow the young Harris heir. The internet is no longer laughing at King's antics. They are paralyzed by the realization that they witnessed a child's psychological destruction in real time. The division is massive, but the tide is turning against T.I. with a ferocity that no PR team can handle. On one side, the grand hustle diehards are making a desperate, final stand. They are flooded in comment sections, claiming 50 Cent is a digital terrorist who has used AI and deepfake technology to manufacture a family collapse. One viral post from a T.I. fan page argued, 50 Cent is playing God. He's destroying a black family for a Netflix check. Even if the footage is real, some things should stay between a father and son. But these voices are being drowned out by a sea of disgust. The Team 50 camp is hitting back with ruthless logic. If the truth destroys a family, the family was built on a lie. T.I. used his son as a human shield. That's not fatherhood. That's a crime. The industry reactions have been even more devastating. Historically, the rap world stays quiet during family matters, but the nature of this betrayal has forced the heavyweights to pick a side. Rick Ross, never one to miss a moment to needle his rivals, went on an IG Live while eating breakfast, laughing as he told his millions of followers, "I told y'all the king was a fraud. You can't build a throne on the backs of your own kids. The basement is full of skeletons, and 50 just opened the door." Even T.I.'s former collaborators are distancing themselves at light speed. Kanye West reportedly unfollowed T.I. within minutes of the breakdown footage going viral, and rumors are circulating that Pharrell Williams has reached out to King Harris's team to offer support, effectively cutting ties with the father. DJ Academics spent a 3-hour stream breaking down the PR decoy theory, stating, "This is the biggest L in the history of the South. T.I. didn't just lose a beef, he lost his legacy. His own son is at the FBI. It's over." But the most chilling reaction came from the women who originally brought the allegations against T.I. and Tiny. Their lead attorney released a short, pointed statement. "We have been saying for years that there was a pattern of manipulation. To see that this manipulation extended to their own flesh and blood is heartbreaking, but it confirms everything our clients endured. The truth has a way of finding the light." The mainstream media has picked up the scent, too. CNN and Fox News have both run segments on the dark side of celebrity dynasties, using King's tear-stained face as the thumbnail. Public opinion has shifted from curiosity to a demand for accountability. People are calling for a total boycott of T.I.'s upcoming final album, Kill the King, saying the title has taken on a literal and tragic meaning. In the middle of this firestorm, a fake leaked statement from Rock Nation began circulating, suggesting that Jay-Z was appalled by the developments and was reconsidering all future business ties with the Harris estate. While unverified, the mere fact that people believed it shows how radioactive T.I. has become. The industry isn't just watching the Harris family burn, they are warming their hands by the fire. And as the sun sets on the most chaotic day in Atlanta's history, one question is being asked in every group chat. If King Harris is talking to the feds, who is going to be the next person to flip? Now, we come to the most explosive part of this entire saga. The final revelation that 50 Cent saved for the very last second of the file he sent to King Harris. According to a high-level source within G-Unit Film and Television, The footage King saw doesn't end with T.I.'s admissions from 2014. It ends with a hidden camera scene from just 2 weeks ago. The footage shows T.I. in a dark, private meeting with a high-stakes legal consultant. He is heard saying the words that have now shattered King's soul forever. If the documentary drops, we have to blame King. We'll say he was the one who brought the girls around. We'll say he was the bad influence, and I was just a father trying to save my son. It's either him or me, and I've built too much to let it burn for a kid's mistakes. T.I. was planning to throw his own flesh and blood under the bus to avoid a life sentence. When King Harris saw his father plotting to make him the fall guy for the sexual assault allegations, that was the moment his world didn't just break, it turned to ice. He realized his father wasn't just a sinner, he was a predator who viewed his own son as a get-out-of-jail-free card. The man who taught him about loyalty was ready to sacrifice him to the feds without blinking an eye. But here is the final, bone-chilling cliffhanger that has the entire industry paralyzed. King Harris didn't just leave the house. He didn't just cry. Reports are surfacing that when King fled the studio, he took a hard drive with him, the master server that allegedly contains T.I.'s private financial records and years of encrypted communications. And just an hour ago, King Harris posted a single image to his Instagram story, a photo of the federal courthouse in Atlanta with the caption, "The King is dead. Long live the truth." Is King Harris officially turning government informant? Has 50 Cent's psychological game successfully turned T.I.'s biggest defender into his greatest witness? But wait, there's one more twist. 50 Cent just went live for 30 seconds, laughing and holding up a folder with T.I.'s real name on it. He said, "The son's at the courthouse, but the wife is at my office. Tiny, tell him what you told me." The betrayal is coming from every side. T.I. is reportedly barricaded in his mansion, but the walls are closing in. Is there a tape of Tiny that 50 Cent is holding back as the final kill shot? And what will happen when King Harris walks out of that courthouse? This is no longer a rap beef. It's a total annihilation. The Harris family, as we knew it, is gone. The next 24 hours will determine who goes to prison and who walks free, and believe me, we have the footage of what happens next. You are not ready for part 2. Guys, my heart is literally pounding right now. We have never seen a betrayal this deep in hip-hop history. King Harris is at a crossroads that will define his life forever. But I want to hear from you. Is 50 Cent a hero for exposing the truth, or a villain for destroying a family? And do you think T.I. can ever recover from this? Comment below right now. I'm pinning the best theories. If you want to see the federal courthouse footage the second it leaks, you must subscribe and turn on all notifications. Don't miss the next update. It's about to get even darker.